Because if we've now framed the conversation of like, okay, we're talking about data, we're talking about the, it can be used in the field and it can impact a lot of different things. What are some of the most impactful experiences in your career where you're like, this is why data matters?
Yeah, first, I mean, to bring up Hurricane Sandy again, I think that was just a huge event for New York State. So I'm from the Albany, New York area. So, working for the state agency for several years provided me a lot of interesting events to be a part of, and having New York City within your jurisdiction always heightens the risk and the intensity of a situation. So when Hurricane Sandy started to impact the city, um, time was of the essence. We had to pull in information to get it to our senior leaders very quickly, because that was when they were starting to go on the news to brief the media, or have to brief all the way up to the mayors, the governors of the state. So uh, they wanted to be able to pull together data from the field into 1 to 2 pages of information. And so that was where, and I struggled through that first event, and but I
Don't
learned
we all?
from
Yeah.
it. Right, yeah, I learned how to read the situation a bit better, and so I think that really set me on the path of, hey, I can keep refining this skill. I can
Mm.
keep looking at tools that make me a better analyst in those intense moments, and hopefully when I hand off that product, it's timely, it's useful. And we me and my team back in the day, we always took a little pride in seeing maybe one of our reports, or some of the
Mm.
bullet points were being read to the media or read to the politicians. So the goal, right, was to
Yeah.
make
I
our,
mattered. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, my
right,
work
to
mattered. Yeah.
little victories make our information really useful. Then fast forward, starting to work in preparedness for New York State was just a really great opportunity. What we did there was we actually did a lot of outreach to our county emergency management offices, and
Mm.
we conduct in-person risk and capability assessments with them, where we'd actually go meet with all the key players from the county in the room. So the emergency manager, the public health official, sheriff, fire, and we talked through these assessments where we'd be capturing data points based on the questions that they provided to our, or sorry, the answers that they provided to our questions. And by doing this assessment across the state in a very standardized, repeatable way, we were able to pull up all this great data that showed state level trends of where our major gaps were, what are our highest risks,
Mm.
and then match that up against uh, grant funding challenges. So
Mm.
what kind of grant funding were these counties getting, and where were their biggest gaps? And if we saw that there was some link between not a lot of grant funding but a really big gap, I just thought that's a great way to use data. We have the information, we can visualize it, and putting that up on a slide, it tells the story for you sometimes, that rather than you anecdotally explaining the information that you captured. A bar chart can go a long way, save you a
Mm.
lot of breath sometimes.